What's up? What's up? Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, man. What's going on, man?
What's good?
What's up with you fellas?
Ain't shit, man. We gotta turn this off though. It's not gonna work because
I've been told you that.
It's not gonna work. You feel me? It's not gonna work.
Yeah, you want to see people throw balls through hoops.
It's playoff season, man. It's the playoffs.
What's your team? I got Celtics winning the whole thing and running it back.
I Celtics win the whole thing.
I haven't watched one game of basketball the whole season.
I don't know, man. I think OKC is gonna finally win
In the
this
East?
year. Oh, I'm talking about the West, OKC. But in the East, who's gonna win it? Who's coming out the East? Yeah, I think Celtics come out the East. I don't see the Cavs doing it.
I tell you what, the Cavs it's gonna be a good game. Donovan Mitchell, salute. He's been doing this thing.
Yeah, I just don't think it's enough firepower.
No, it's not enough, but
Yeah, it's not enough.
Yeah, I wish I could offer some input. I don't know nothing about sports this year.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. It's
This year?
This year, yeah.
That's cool.
what happened last year? Who won the chip last year?
Celtics, right? Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not living under a rock, but I just didn't watch a game this year. You know, been a little too busy.
Word. Busy doing what, if you don't mind?
Oh, just living life.
Yeah, okay,
just living life. Life hits. Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. What's going on with you guys, man?
Not much, man. Not much. Just been out here living. Just been out here trying to, take things day by day.
Day by day.
Day by day.
So you're a drifter. You just drifting through life.
I never said those words.
That's
Oh, okay.
day by day. It kind of sounds like that a little,
Yeah.
just a tad.
Kind of sounds like you're just going with the flow, like
No,
whatever
that
the day
means
throws
that
at you.
I'm focusing on things that are in front of me and I'm living in the present. I'm not
Oh, then you could have just said that.
day by day. That's what I'm day by day. I'm addressing things and handling things as they come. I'm not living in the future and I'm not living in the past. Day by day.
Living in the present.
Correct. Correct.
What's going on, Ruby? How you feeling?
I feel all right. 3-day weekend. I got tomorrow off. Just relaxing, getting my mind straight. My physical body straight. I went to the gym yesterday. I'm gonna go to the gym today.
How consistent are you with the gym? Like, how many days do you put in?
I just started going back to the gym, so I'm
word.
not too consistent if I'm keeping it a stack.
Oh, of course.
But we getting there
Why do you have off tomorrow?
because I worked Friday.
Oh, okay. So instead of Friday off, you took
Yeah.
off Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, that's calm. That's calm.
I got a corny question I ask you guys.
What's up?
Go ahead. Shoot.
Do you have a favorite day of the week?
I like Thursdays.
Like Thursdays?
Yeah, and I like Thursdays because it's that borderline of I gotta go to work tomorrow, but I could also get lit because Thursdays that's where all the deals are.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I like the spontaneous factor where I can go out, but I gotta make sure I don't get too lit because I gotta go to work the next day. The thrill.
Thursdays.
The thrill.
Thirsty Thursdays.
What about you, sir? You got a favorite day of the week, man?
I can't say I do. I don't think I have a favorite day of the week. I don't.
Word.
Do you?
Part of being rich is the fact that you don't even know what day it is anymore.
What was that word that you said after being?
I'm sorry?
You said a word after. You said part of being, and then there was a word after that. What was that word?
Part of being rich, sir, is the fact that you just don't know what day it is anymore.
I tell you what, rich people have calendars. They know what day.
Rich people are weird.
Nah, there are rich people out there, man. You ask them, the time or what day it is, they just can't answer you, man. Like, I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
You've been looking in the mirror. That's it.
Yeah. Nah, but in all jokes aside, I do have a favorite day. I feel like I like the split in the week, so I would say like Wednesdays.
Oh, hump day.
Hump day.
That's
Well,
what-
technically, yeah, but that's not why I like it. It's just a nice even split. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 day. You got your Wednesdays, just split, you could have like a bad first half of the week, split on Wednesdays, and the rest of the week is just you're cruising.
That's calm.
Everything is chilling.
I like that way of thinking.
Yeah. Split it right through the middle. People expect you to say like the weekends, and it's just like they're not the same anymore. They're just not the same anymore. Not the same.
I feel like people live up for the weekend and forget about all the other days. It's like the weekend is the only time for them to shine. You don't think so?
To an extent, but I also feel like those are the same type of people that are just like running away from something. Like they had like let's say people who are at work, they just can't wait to get to the weekend because they're off. Like they're just running away from like their current reality. It's just how I feel about it. Other times it's just it's just not the same anymore. I mean, I was excited to put this theory to test. I was just excited, when we were in school. You just want to get out of school so bad. You just can't wait for Friday and then the Saturday, and then, you're back to feeling, the same drought on Sundays because, you got to go do the same thing over again. It just feels like you're running away from something, you know what I mean? Versus now as an adult, it just doesn't feel the same because people work throughout the weekends now, and some people are putting in 7 days just working.
Salute.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't see me doing that, but some people like are legit just working, and it's just like it's just any other day. So
They get into it, man. If it got to be 7 days, it got to be 7 days for the time being. We're young now, so we can do it, but you don't want to be doing that when you 50, 40. This is the time to do it, to get to where you want to be. Work hard now, rest later.
yeah, but I have an entirely different mindset on that too. Like, I don't think you want to say something before.
No,
I get into
I'm actually interested in hearing what your mindset on that is.
Yeah, like it just goes to this 9 to 5 BS. Like, I don't think anybody should like really be working 9 to 5s. Like, you're building somebody else's dream. Like, I have strong feelings about it. Haven't done it, of course. Like, just working, you're putting in all this time, and you're looking at the owners, the CEOs, just, you know what I mean? They're just like, all right, I got these people handling my stuff, and you guys are allowing me to buy back my time, so I'm going to go do this. The amount of energy spent through these jobs, these 9 to 5 jobs, you could equally, use that same amount of energy to build something for yourself. You know what I mean? You guys, am I saying something like off here?
No, but the way I see a 9 to 5 or a 7 to 3 is you're working that job to pay for what you want to do.
Yeah, but it doesn't always like come out that way though. Like, some people like really do need the money. Yeah, bills got to get paid. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we often work these dead end jobs that have nothing to do with, where we want to like go in life. It's just something that you need to get the bills paid. You're working 60 hours a week.
Nobody forces you to get the job you have.
And that's the beauty of it. Freedom of choice.
You feel me? So if you're working a job you don't like, that's all on you.
Exactly. Freedom of choice. And that's the second part of that type of mindset. Is like, you have the ability to like change your circumstances. Like, you don't have to like work this job. Some people feel like they're almost like living in fear simply because they got these bills to pay. So they're just spending all this time at this job, not knowing that, you could go figure it out somewhere else. You could figure it out for yourself. Like, it's just the idea of like bills that are like scaring people.
But also it's the fear of starting new. When you start new, you gotta learn different shit. When you're already in it, it's like I already used to this. I already know what I gotta do. I'm already accustomed to all the people I'm working with. But when you start new, you gotta get readjusted. You need alignment.
To an extent, yeah. I don't want to hog up the airwaves. Like, if you have something, feel free to say something, brother. But I'll just say this one last thing. I'm sorry. Ahead, yeah. To your point, yeah, in a way, but also it's just like the fear of like uncertainty. Like, you don't know. Let's say if you move on from this, like, when is it going to be the next time you get like some money or pay that bill or get that food in your stomach. Like, you know what it is? It's just a fear of uncertainty, and that just allows people to like be trapped, limited to a sense. Don't get it twisted. Jobs are necessary, but you shouldn't go into it thinking I'm getting this job to pay my bills and that's all this job is like for. You should get into it thinking, hey, I'm getting this job maybe to like learn something from it. You know what I mean? That's all I have to say about it. Like, work to learn, don't work for money. Pardon me.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. I do. And in theory, it sounds great. Don't get me wrong. It would be lovely if we could just not have to work at 9 to 5 and, still have our expenses covered. But in actuality and in reality, in practice, it just doesn't work that way, So when you see people working, maybe, like you said, a dead-end job or a job that's not really going anywhere and there's no room for growth, most times I'd say a lot of times it's not out of preference, it's more so out of necessity. And it's easy to just say, go into a situation, learn as much as you can, and then use that to leverage yourself and move on and build something for yourself. But if we're being honest, most people don't have the discipline, they don't have the structure, and they don't have the means to make something of themselves and to go get it that way. So I think when you have a job, it gives you structure. When you have a job, it gives you an opportunity to make money, where with that money you should be investing in yourself, whatever that looks like, right? So you don't have to be stuck in the hypothetical rat race.
Yeah.
But like you said, there are people working dead-end jobs, low pay. People are underemployed. There are people out there with degrees, and they're working in jobs that have nothing to do with the degrees they paid thousands of dollars for. And they have crippling debt, and it just seems like a race, and it's never ending with no end in sight. So I see both sides of it.
Yeah, but to your point about, most people, you said something about most people not having the discipline or, the drive, the structure.
Yeah.
And yeah, these jobs put you into a routine. But to that point, I say, I like to think of, discipline being like a muscle that you can work out. Like, you probably don't have it yet, but you can take steps to like work towards having the discipline, the consistency to, get things done. So
to that point, how many people don't work out? How many people don't take their health serious? How many people don't do these things in their personal lives? So if they can't even do it in their personal lives where it directly affects them, like their health, their quality of life, how are you going to apply something into your work life, into your, in that aspect, if you can't even apply it to your personal life,
Comfort kills, man. It's comfort. It's just comfort kills. People, if you're comfortable, you really, like, if you're comfortable with something deep down, you're like really okay with it. They might not feel like, they could tell themselves, yo, I really want to work out. I do it. Like, I could tell myself I really want to work out, and I'm like, I have the initial motivation, like, to go work out, but motivation can only take you so far. Like, you really just need to, stress the act of discipline, because it's discipline that's gonna get you out that bed to go put in that workout. You could talk about it all you want. That's motivation. Motivation is just the initial, think of it as like the turning key to a car. Put the key in there, that's motivation. You turn it, that's your discipline. Just go after it. So, but it really just comes down to like being comfortable. Some people are just comfortable, man. Like, even with these jobs, bro, like they fear, not having that job simply because things just need to get paid. Like, they just feel the uncertain. Like, like I was like that as well. It's not until, I was out of a job that I realized, like, yo, there's really more to this thing, and I can like start something for myself. I have started something for myself. Like, believe it or not, we are all doing something for ourselves. You got the DJ thing. You go to work, yes, and that job simply, I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with your favorite hobby, right?
Yeah.
So you're really just like, you're not really working for money per se, because, you know, you still get paid with your side hobby. And, you know, at the moment you can make that switch to full time by construction, right? That's essentially what I'm trying to say. Like, have something that you can like lean on instead of running away from your 9-to-5 life, your Monday through Friday life, and, you know, spending the weekend doing nothing. Just have something on the side that you like could work towards that could take over that source of income. You know what I mean? Versus, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, yo, you're not. Yeah, I digress though. Go ahead.
About to kill you.
You think so?
Now, I was just gonna say it's literally just having a leap of faith. You know,
Taking risk.
go into something knowing you might not be able to get there, but you know, if you go towards it, doors are gonna open inevitably. You know.
Yeah. For sure.
They might. Doors might not open. So I think it's funny because it's like, okay, we're sitting here and we're speaking to the point of going out, taking a risk, you know, stepping out on faith. And of course, it sounds good. You know, it sounds good to say it. Now, is everybody ready to take that step? Like, because if you go out and you take a step and you quit your job, now you're not able to pay your bills. You're putting yourself in a terrible position.
It's okay if you're not able to pay your bills, bro. It's not the end of the world, bro.
It's not.
No, it's not the end of the world.
Okay. You can't.
Show me where it's written that says, yo, if you don't pay your bills, like it's the end of your life, bro. Show me where it says that.
You can go bankrupt.
We never said. We're not saying that. We're saying
it's not the end of the world. There's people who don't pay the bills, and that
I don't ever want to be somebody that can't pay the bills.
No, of course not. You have your ideal, you know what I mean? Like, you have that for yourself, but it's not the end of the world is what I'm saying. Like, nobody has a gun to your head.
As long as you're above ground, yes, you can always turn it around. But what I'm saying is I don't reckon anyone would want to put themselves in a situation where they can't afford to pay their bills monthly, where you're facing, now if you have to pay rent, you can't afford your rent and you're facing eviction. Now, if you can't pay your car note, they're coming to get your car. If you can't pay your phone bill, you're asking me for a hotspot. I don't think anybody, you feel me? I don't think anybody wants to be in a situation like that is what I'm saying. So it's easy to say, you know, oh, quit your job and go do something for yourself, you know, and go build something from the ground up.
No, I'm not saying quit your job.
So
All I'm saying is don't let it be, don't waste your life just building somebody else's dream. Like, you could keep that job. I'm not saying quit that job. I did say, you know, start something for yourself so you can have something for yourself. You know, have a sense of, yo, I can do something for myself. And then, let's say it becomes your primary source of income, then get rid of that working for somebody else. I'm not saying quit.
So you're basically saying, you know, have the job to have it, but that job is to build what you want to do.
Exactly. I'm saying have dreams and aspirations for yourself, not just helping somebody else, you know, build theirs. Because they're already doing it. They took that leap of faith, like you said. Yeah. What's stopping you from taking it?
What's stopping me from taking it?
No, in generally speaking. Generally speaking.
The money's not right yet doing my other jobs. So once the money's right, I don't need my first job. I'll start doing the shit myself.
That's essentially what I'm saying.
Because I'm already taking all the skills from my regular job. All I got to do is apply it to the shit I'm doing now.
Exactly. And
you know,
that's exactly
when you go to work, it's not necessarily just working. You got to see how that company is operating, how you fit in that company, and use all that information and bring it to your own shit. That's all you doing. We're borrowing information. You feel me?
Exactly.
When I talk to all these subs, I know them by name. They can have my personal number, so, you know, God forbid I get out of there, I'm still in tune.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. No, that's yeah.
I just don't want people to have like regrets. You get this one go at life. If you believe in another one out there, then that's your belief system. But for myself, you have this one go at life. Do you really want to spend it, you know, working a job that you hate? Do you really want to listen to somebody telling you, hey, go take your 15, but you got to come back this time?
And that's another thing. I think when we think of a conventional 9 to 5, and whenever we speak about it, just the notion around is that everybody hates their 9 to 5. They hate their bosses. They hate their coworkers. They just hate the environment. They hate going to it. And I don't think that's necessarily the case for everyone, right? Because I do believe that some people out there do enjoy what they do for a living. They do enjoy their jobs, even if it's a 9 to 5, even if they have superiors they have to answer to. As long as I think everybody has a different idea of what success is and what comfort looks like for them. So I think if it gives them an opportunity to pay the bills, have a meaningful life outside of work, like work-life balance, I think is a huge thing. And they feel valued. They feel like what they're doing at work is valued and it's appreciated. I think that goes a long way as well. So when you work a 9 to 5, it's not to say you can't, like you said, you could always work on whatever you're working on outside of that. You can always make time for that as well. It's just when you're in situations where you feel demoralized and it feel like you're expending all your energy on it and it's not getting you to where you need to be, then yes, that's a problem. But a lot of times, 9 to 5 is beneficial. You have health insurance. Private healthcare is going to cripple you, right? So you just have, there's certain things that, is beneficial when it comes to a conventional 9 to 5 job.
So you were speaking about success, and everyone has their different definition of success. What does being successful mean to you guys?
I'll let Pete go.
I mean, the preconceived notion around success is you got the house, you got the money.
I'm talking about you, not the preconceived.
Oh, success.
What is success like for Pete?
Success life for Pete. That's a good question. I never really know how to answer this question for myself, but I'm gonna try. Success for me is, well, right now it starts with, doing what I want to do on my terms and not really caring about,
Choose your words wisely.
Yeah, I wanna like be careful with this.
I don't think there's a wrong answer. So, whatever it is, whatever your heart is leading you to, even if it might get your back kicked in by the audience.
No, but success for me right now is just like really doing what I want to do without anyone telling me that I should do it. And you know what I mean? Like I'm doing things on my own term. And I'm taking the necessary steps to get the things I want in life. Because like I said, I feel like, one life on this earth, you shouldn't waste it at all. Like you should find like purpose, find meaning, and build and, dream and do all these things that you want to do for yourself. Because, like, who wants to, like, I just don't want to be miserable. And I was for a while. Because I didn't know what was next. It's not until I, like, really sat down and thought, hey, in this, however many years I get here, I want to accomplish this. I want to accomplish that. I want to accomplish this. And if I don't, I'm okay with it. But as long as I, took the necessary steps to at least try to get it, you know what I mean? I don't want to just remain stagnant, let life pass me on and just not do anything. You had asked me a question earlier where you're like, are you afraid of death? I'm not afraid of dying. I'm just afraid of like not doing anything with my life and I just wasted it away and then I die, you know what I mean? It's not the death that scares me. It's just not having, purpose, meaning, the means to do something for myself, the means to be a free thinker. So success, of course, is different for everybody. But right now, I feel like me being on the path to where I want to go, it's already mine in a way. You know what I mean? So next person up, if y'all want to answer. I know I'm giving long-winded answers, but
nah, it's cool. That's your
I
bag.
believe in what I'm saying.
You just start babbling.
I believe in what I'm saying,
I believe in what you're saying too, man.
I believe in what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, man.
And to your point earlier, I wasn't speaking to those people. I'm not speaking to the people who are actually comfortable with what they got going on. I'm not saying if you're comfortable, get uncomfortable and just, go do something for yourself. I'm talking about the people who do hate their bosses, who do hate hate their job. And to those people as well, it's really not your boss or your job. It's really you. It's something that you feel inside that you need to change for yourself. You hating your boss, you hating your job is not going to change your situation. Only you can change your situation. You know what I mean? Exactly. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you...
You're philosophical, man.
Deep down, you're just okay with it, man. If you go to work every day and you hate your job, you hate your boss, and you're just constantly showing up, you're okay with what you're going through.
You're complacent in the,
Yeah. You're just okay with it. If you're not okay with it, you do something, you change it. You figure it out.
Word.
That's all it is.
Word.
All right. Welcome to the Breachpoint podcast. If you didn't know already, we are the Breachers.
Oh man.
Go ahead, live.
Go ahead, live. Go
Success
ahead,
to
man.
me. Success to me is I'm not gonna make this too long winded. Like my like my co-host here. I'll just say it. For me, it's it looks like a freedom of three things: time, money, and choice. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Money to do what I want, when I want, how I want. Time, do what I want, when I want, how I want. And choice, get to choose where I want to go, what I want to eat, what I want to do, But also, success to me looks like I'm big on family. I'm big on community.
Of course.
I'm big on inspiration and just leaving your mark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Expressing yourself. So I do believe that success to me looks like having a loving family and having a healthy family dynamic. God willing, I want the wife, the children, the dog, the house. I want to be able to...
You want that TV love.
I want that TV love, that Bill Cosby minus all that.
Bill Cosby.
I wouldn't have said that.
I would have said Bill Cosby.
I wouldn't have went there, my boy.
I want that. My wife and kids.
There you go. The Kyles. Yeah.
I want
that
something
Kyle
like
love.
that. I want to be able to. I want to be able to help others. I want to have the means to help others and just be a lending hand and assist where I can when I can. Especially for my community. I want to give back. Because we need to lean on each other, right? There's too many individuals out here nowadays. Nobody wants to collaborate. Nobody wants to depend on each other, and that's what's really holding us back. I know we spoke last week briefly about just the black dollar in the community, right, and how it's gone just as fast as it comes in, and we're just so quick to build up other communities instead of our own. And we're really suffering from that. So success to me looks like...
We're focused too much on liabilities versus being focused on assets.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
Success for me looks like all of that, encompassed into just a ball. That's just for me, personally.
Success for me, it's a little bit different compared to both of y'all comments. First of all, family. Make sure my family's straight. But I want to be able to make a mark. I like going somewhere. I know I did it. It's stamped. It's a building stamped. They know I did it. They know the people around me helped me do it. I just want landmarks or everything. I want myself being spread out. I don't want to be spread thin, but I want people to know that I was here and I helped out. And not necessarily in the forefront. Like, I'm fine with being behind the scenes doing it, but I just want a little credit. I just want a little credit. Put me in small letters. Just know I was there. You feel me? I was part of something bigger than myself. You feel me?
Yeah. No, exactly. I feel that for sure.
If it's something small, I was a part of it.
Yeah.
But other than that, the crib, the cars, being able to travel, seeing different things. But for the most part, just making an area for myself that you go by, 30 years later, 50 years later, I was here.
Yeah, all subjective in a way, man. Success, this concept of success. You think of success, you just think of all the girls, the money, the cars, all of that stuff.
Is that girls?
Yeah. Yeah, like multiple women.
Okay.
Yeah, you just,
That's your personal.
No, sir. I was just saying this concept. People believe it to be, that. But if you're waking up every day with a roof under your head, you got food in your stomach, you got a loving family, you got people, everybody is healthy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If success is already yours, basically, like you're not only successful, you're wealthy.
Oh man. Should we snap this guy? Yeah, I like that, Pete.
Hey, man.
I like that. Okay.
What's up, guys? What type of pod are we having today, man?
Nah, I actually I like this conversation, and I like these discussions because people don't really talk about these things as often as they should.
Yeah.
Because what's portrayed in the mass media is like their idea of success, like you said, the multiple women, cars, all the
Materialistic
material
stuff.
things,
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, just having just the basics is like you're already blessed abundantly just with that alone, when you really look at things and you really put it into perspective. So,
But everyone always wants more.
yeah.
And you can't blame them.
Of course, I get it. I mean, I'm yeah.
And it's okay to want these things too. I don't want to make it seem like you shouldn't want the flashy cars and the flashy houses. It's okay to like really want those things, but it's not the
End of the world
definition.
if you don't get
It's
it.
not the end of the world if you don't get any of that, for sure. But it's also not the definition of success. Like success doesn't mean you have all these things. You can have all these things and be miserable and do some things to
Yeah, money don't make a lame person unlame. Money don't make,
Usually make you more lame when you get money.
all it does, it just heightens the type of person you already are.
Yeah.
Before you had it. If you're
yeah,
a jerk
it shows your true colors.
Exactly. If you're a jerk off before the money, you get some money, you're just gonna be a jerk off with money.
Oof, I can't wait.
Yeah. Can't wait. What?
Can't wait.
What?
I'll touch some more bread.
Yeah. In your case, you're just gonna talk a lot more than you do now.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna just spread some of my knowledge and some of the things I learned on my journey for sure, and
Good
help
save.
others.
Good
yeah.
save.
Yeah, good
Sure,
save,
that's
man.
what-
Yeah, good save. Yeah, don't let me paint you as the bad person. Good work. Don't let me do that to you today. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's get into the topic of the day. So one of the questions I had was, if you have like a significant other, and God forbid you guys stop talking to each other, and you have like your families already invested in that person, would you expect your family to cut them off the same way you did, or does it bother you?
How? Couple questions before I can answer this.
Go ahead.
Me and that significant other, how long were we together, and how
I was locked in.
locked in? Like what? Like engaged?
Not engaged, but
Like, this person, of course, met your family.
they met your family.
They've been to
Y'all
all
probably
the
did
parties.
a family trip together. Y'all locked in. They know your significant other,
They call each other's parents, mom and dad.
pretty well.
Yeah. Things like that.
Well,
And then things just went sour.
I was gonna say my follow up question is the breakup and the split. Like, how did that? Was it a bad breakup? Was it amicable? Like, how did that go? Because I think that factors into it as well.
I feel like we're speaking to the terms of it was just bad. It was just terrible. Well, let's start with both.
I didn't know what your definition of terrible is, because for me, there's a couple of things that's like, basically non-negotiable. Like if you cheat on me, if you're If it's infidelity, my family, listen, I'm drawing the line. We're not talking to Shorty no more. We're not talking to Shorty's family. We're not talking to Shorty. It's over. You feel me? That's just me personally when it comes to certain things.
Okay.
That's me. That's just me.
All right. I mean, I had an answer, but hearing your answer kind of changed mine. I kind of agree with that. But what I would say before the agreement of your said point, I don't care. I don't care if they speak. The only where I draw the line is what I tell you better not find its way over there. Like my business that I'm telling you as my family member, don't run over there and go, run your mouth when questions are asked, about me or about a certain situation on that side. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's where I draw the line. Like, you're my family member. Hate to say it, but you're my family member. Mm-hmm. So I should be able to trust you with certain information, certain things that I'm thinking, certain things that I'm going through without it have to creep out to somewhere that I don't want it to be. You know what I mean? So I think that's where I draw the line. Other than that, I don't care. When you were around, you were cool with the people. You were cool with the people. It is what it is. I mean, something detriment as, infidelity.
I was about to get you, too. I was about to...
I already agreed with you.
Yeah, you agree with me, but you also said, as long as whatever you tell them doesn't make it to her, you're fine with anything. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like to me that...
No, aside from your point, like I said, if it's, if you're being unfaithful, or if you were unfaithful... then yeah, you gotta go, yo. You gotta go. And to my family, if I still decide to communicate with the person after what the hell happened, you can't really cut off family. I mean,
say who?
You can cut off family.
Yeah,
you can?
Say who?
All right, but I won't say it that way, but I will distance myself from you. I will, share less of myself with you. Like, you won't see me around as often anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, you'll see me, at like family events, but there is no going to your house. There is no chatting with you, messages.
So you're not talking to them at family events?
I'll say, Caribbean families, you can never stop talking to anybody. You gotta like show a little bit of respect. So I'll give you like a hi and bye type of thing, but I'm not telling you about how my week was. I'm not telling you anything like that.
I don't care if I'm Caribbean. I don't care if I'm American. I don't care if I'm Asian. If you're doing something funny, and I'm not feeling it, I'm not gonna talk to you. I don't have to talk to you. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll give you for myself, me personally, and
you seem like the type fold, and then you how you been? How's the kids?
That's one for the day. It's one for the day. I'll keep that in my back pocket.
I agree with Pete. You could talk to them, but don't share my information with them. Don't keep us away from each other.
And the thing about that is, I know what I'm telling somebody. Like, I know exactly what I told you. If I hear it verbatim from that other side, I know where I got it from. I know where it came from. I know all of that. And now you're just putting yourself in a situation where I can't trust you with certain things now. So
I already don't tell people stuff anyways, for real, because loose lips sink ships.
You know who you could tell people stuff to, and you know who you cannot tell stuff to.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Some people,
for sure,
they'll let it be known.
Oh yeah, first chance they get.
Sure.
First chance. It's tough though, because you said you're locked in, so it's like, damn, this person, like at this point they're borderline a member of the family as well, like pretty much, right? So it's like. Damn.
But I feel like, there's other reasons why people leave besides infidelity.
Of course, and that's why I asked, like, how was the split and how was the breakup? Was it a bad breakup? Because even okay, we break up, it didn't work out. That doesn't mean we can't still be cool. We can still be cool, like. And at that point, what happened?
I don't know. You locked in with the family like that, y'all break up, y'all can still be cool.
Yeah, you could be cordial.
I think
you could be cordial, but
be cordial.
I think so. I've seen it happen. I mean, I've never been through something like that. Well, Not really. I've never really been through something like that myself, but I've seen it happen. You know, I know people that's been in situations like that, and they still are. You know, and they're still cool with, you know, past people they were in the relationship with, and they're still able to be cool with the family. I just think it depends how it ends, and you know, if you two are mature enough to explore friendship in that way. But it's not for everyone, for sure. I wouldn't say it is.
Yeah. Are you a forgiving person?
Am I a forgiving person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, I am. I'm a forgiving person, but that doesn't mean I necessarily need to allow you to be in my. No, that's not it. No, when it comes to forgiveness, I think a lot of times we're entitled with forgiveness, and we feel that if somebody forgives you, that means that person needs to be cool with you again, and I don't think that's the case. Yes, I can forgive you. I understand what you did, and I've accepted it, and I forgive you. However, I don't want anything to do with you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I don't need to be cool with you. We're cool, and you showed your ass. Cool.
What if they had a sincere apology?
Like I said, I'll forgive them, and it all depends on it's circumstantial too, because it depends what they did and what happened. But I'll forgive you, but depending on what happened and what went down, we may not ever get to where we were before. That bond may never ever be the same again.
It's never gonna be the same.
You know.
But not to cut you off.
Depends on what happened.
Yeah. Not to cut you off. I think I'm a forgiving person. I've been in some situations where you might not want to forgive, but at the same time, you gotta see how that person maneuvers, and you can also tell when you have a feeling when someone is genuine. So you move with that type of faith, and you're able to really put things aside and genuinely be like, you know what? Based on their character, how they're moving, you forgive, but you don't forget.
Basically what I was saying.
Yeah, you can always forgive, but you don't forget, you know? So being able to forgive is very important because, you know, people make mistakes all the time. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's fair to hold that on them with the same, you know, passion that it was happening like 5 years, 10 years later. It's like damn, like people grow.
People grow, people change.
Yeah.
But how many times you gonna let somebody play in your face?
Once.
Just once?
Once.
But if you forgive them.
Forgive, not forget.
Okay, forgive, not forget.
I said once. They do it the second time. It's, you know.
Okay.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
But then at that point, they played in your face twice. But the second time you cut it, you
yeah.
So you don't believe in second chances?
I believe in second chances.
I believe in second chances in certain situations. Cause like I think just people know what they're doing. I think a lot of times people will play in your face and they'll test you and they'll push your limit. They'll push the line just to see what you do and just to see how you respond. So I really do believe in that you need to set firm boundaries and you need to make it explicit and make it clear. Like, yo, I'm not going for XYZ, and if you do this or that, it's over. You know, it's clipped. Like, I'm not going for that type of thing. You know.
What if it's like a subject matter you guys didn't even talk about?
Subject matter, and it's so funny because,
you know, common sense is not common to everyone.
It's funny because I actually had this conversation with somebody a couple months ago. Well, like a couple weeks ago, months ago. It's like in certain situations, it's like if you do something that you wouldn't want me doing to you, even if we didn't discuss it yet, I don't think everything needs to be discussed, type of thing, right? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, Pete, you're wearing a white shirt. Do you need to tell me not to pick my nose and wipe my booger on your white shirt? Does that need to be discussed? Or is that like something that we kind of already know, right? I know that's like a silly example, but
I see the vision.
I just feel like people know when they do you wrong. They know when they do something funny, right? and then they'll be like, "Oh, but I didn't know," or "Oh, we didn't discuss it." So you know, you going hard, and we never even talked about it. You going hard, and we never. But like, if the roles were reversed, you wouldn't like that. If the roles were reversed, you wouldn't be going for that. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, that brings me to a question I wanted to ask you. I feel like you kind of, well, I'll ask it anyway in a different way. So, you said that people often know what they're doing to you, but yeah, just people just know what they're doing. Is there a case where you're more lenient because you feel like they didn't necessarily know what they were doing, to you? Like, is there a case where you're more forgiving because you're all right, I could see how you made this little mistake. We can get past it.
What she look like?
What she look like? What are you talking about?
You asked me, is there a situation where I'm more lenient? What does she look like?
What is he talking about?
He knows what I'm talking about.
This could be about anything. This could be about one of your homeboys from like back in the day. It has to be about a girl.
I never said that. I'm just asking some clarifying questions. All right, cool. It's just in general. I'm just all right, cool.
So if she look like dirt, yo, get out my face.
Yo, you out of here.
Right, if she look like some, like, what's your favorite snack?
I might be more inclined to give you a second chance. I'm being honest. Like, you guys want honest answers from me or not?
Yeah, we do.
Like,
this guy's crazy.
You feel me?
Okay.
But nah. I mean, yeah. So, all jokes aside.
No, you ain't joking.
He ain't joking.
This guy. You ain't joking. You're being dead serious.
So, man,
all right.
if you in the bottom spectrum, you out of there.
I don't know, man, because I am a forgiving person, and I do understand, stuff happens, people make mistakes, quote unquote, and sometimes shit happens, man.
Why you say the quotes? Have you not made mistakes where you knew what you were doing, but it was like you fucked up, like.
If you knew what you were doing, could it really be labeled as a mistake?
Yeah. You know what you're doing. Maybe you accidentally pressed the 2 instead of the 1. You know what you're doing. No?
Nah, I ain't rolling with that.
I
don't think it's a mistake.
That's different though, cause
I think it's intentional.
It's a mistake if you press the 2 instead of the 1 accidentally. But it's not a mistake if you press the 2 knowing you should have pressed the 1.
But I'm saying that you know what you're supposed to do, but you made that error.
Okay, so that's a mistake. But if you know what you're doing, you can't label it as a mistake. Like, if you know you pressed the 2 instead of pressing the 1 when you should have pressed the 1, I can't chalk that up to it being a mistake or an error. That's you purposely doing that, if you know what you're doing, type of thing, like you're like, yo, let me see what I can get away with, type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree for sure. I think it's just intentional at that point. What are some mistakes you guys are like paying for still? Like, there's a mistake that I made and I'm still paying for.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You've
been breached.
I like this. Pete's always been more vulnerable and open.
Yeah,
you better than me, man.
It's softy.
Yeah, like there is a mistake, and it has to do with, of course, with like a friendship, just falling out.
All right, let's discuss, man.
Yeah, it just goes back to that point where you know what you're doing in a sense.
So was it a mistake on your part or their part?
I'll 100% own up to it. It was
man. Let's get some details, man. Come on, let's go.
It was me. There are some friendships that I had, that fell out. A group of people just fell out. And it took me a while to kind of work on it. I'm better now, of course, but before, I want to say 4 years ago, I had a terrible problem with communication, bro. I could just not communicate for anything, and I would get verbal feedback, yo, you need to do a better job at like, you know, reaching out. Like they were telling me like, yo, we love you. Like you need to do a better job at like reaching out. Like you just suck at like communication. Like you just fall off the earth and do all these things. Like we reach out, but you don't extend that, you know, same sentiment. And it didn't really hit me until those people, like those individuals are like out of my life right now. And I'm just like, damn, if I could like correct that mistake. Cause it's not really a mistake because I knew what I was doing. Like I would hear the feedback and I'm just like, all right, cool, I'll do better. And I just don't do better. Like it's one of those things where you're intentionally doing something thinking that it doesn't have any consequences.
It's not too late.
I was just.
Oh no, it's too late. No, it's definitely too late. That's why it's just like.
What makes it too late?
Because the person, the other people, they don't want nothing to do with you. They don't want nothing to do with you. There's like, yo, something tells me that you're not gonna be able to change. And
I mean,
it is
you
what it
have
is.
to prove it. I mean, unless you don't want to prove it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, like he said.
No, it's not that I don't want to prove it, because of course I've been trying to prove it. I've been trying to prove like, yo, like you used to be like my boy, like we used to be, you know, a group. Like I'm trying to show you like, yo, I can be there for you the way you've been there for me. You know what I mean? Which is why I try to do my best now to like even reach out to even you. Like I will try to reach out to you like, you know, multiple times, and I'm like trying to do better with that.
Yeah, you need to stop that.
Stop that?
I'm not one of those people you need to constantly reach out to.
Noted. Got you. But you know what?
I can't even joke with this guy. Noted.
Noted.
I'm taking
it serious.
That was personal.
I'm taking it serious. That was personal. That was a little personal, right? It is what it is. I still got love for you. I mean, that's you know.
I think the first step with that is reaching out to whoever these people are.
I did, and I'm just not gonna do it anymore because you can only get shot down too.
Oh, they didn't respond?
No, they respond. It's just not a nice response.
What's the response like?
Yo, get the fuck out of here.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Beat it, kid.
Yeah, yo, along those lines. It's like, yo.
Well, honestly, maybe it was a blessing in disguise, bro. Because I really do believe that some people are in your life, whether you like it or not, and you know they're meant to be in your life
For a certain chapter or something like that.
Yeah, you know they be saying like for a season, for a reason, you know all them words they like to use. People, you know, but people that are meant to be in your life long term and they're meant to go the distance. I do believe that it's not easy. They're not easily shaken. They're not easily to get rid of or, you know, to abandon. So in this case, it just seems like maybe these friendships weren't as genuine as you thought they were. Because I'm speaking for myself. I could never get upset with a friend that doesn't reach out enough. You just never know what somebody's going through. You never know what they're battling, if, you know, whatever issues they may be dealing with, you know, it may be a reason they can't or won't reach out as often, you know, and that's where either I have to, you know, reach out myself or, you know, just give them space because sometimes we need that as well, you know.
And also, there's different types of friends. You know, there's some high maintenance friends and there's some low maintenance friends. There's people I could talk to once a month, they're fine. Once a year, they fine. Other people, they need more attention, probably like once a week, twice a week, you know, and you just know who you're dealing with.
Yeah. I just feel like, you know, it's important to have like some of these connections in life, you know what I mean? Like you gotta have like, as men, of course, we also have to like have our tribe. We need to have like somebody we can go to like hash out, you know, whatever we're going through, what we're feeling, you know, just to be, just be there. Like have that type of friendship where you're not asking for anything, just be there. Like sometimes you don't even have to say anything, just be there for that person, whatever they're going through. And, you know, that's something I have to work on, just being a better communicator. And I think I'm doing, you know, an okay job with it, like right now. You know, it's just trial and error, just learning through past mistakes. So, yeah, I'm just focusing on that right now, just being a better communicator, you know, reaching out to certain people. And my mistake was, you know, I would I would always like dump whatever I was going through, with people. Just
Oh, you one of those? You a trauma dump?
not so much. It's not trauma. It could just be anything really. Whatever I'm going throughout the day, and whatever happened throughout the week. Not taking into consideration what that person might be feeling throughout the week. Like it's always like, yo, I did this week, I did that week, I did that.
And you don't ask about that?
I don't ask you. Yeah, but how's it going with you? Which is why I've been, doing better with it, just reaching out, just being more of a listener than, somebody who's like always talking all the damn time.
Me personally, I don't like being in that situation. Don't get me wrong, people can tell me their stuff, but I don't be knowing what to say back. Like they be telling me some shit, and I'm like, damn.
Sometimes they're not necessarily looking for you to say anything back. They just need somebody to listen to their shit.
Yeah. So that's most people.
Yeah, like you don't I'm not like people hate when you give them advice anyway. Like I'm not looking for you to give me advice. I just need you to be an open ear right now. Just listen to this BS I gotta spew.
I'm also the type of person, if you're wrong, I'm gonna tell you you're wrong, no matter.
Of course, you don't ever wanna. Nah, I'm not saying.
Some people, they want you to agree with them. I'm like,
Exactly.
you just told me the most fucked up story and want me to be on your side.
It's funny because I battle with that often. I have some friends, and they'll tell me certain things, and we'll have discussions about issues and things they're dealing with. And me personally, I'm logic based and I'm solution based. So if you come to me telling me these things that you're going through, I'm formulating a solution in my head, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna share that solution with you. I just can't. They be like, somebody just listen to what I got. I'm listening, but I'm not just gonna sit here and complain and just be and just keep discussing something that, if you want to, you can change. There's a solution out there. So why, instead of discussing and speaking about the problem, why not talk about the solution? So that's just where I am on that.
It's probably one of those cases where if this person is like speaking to you, sometimes when somebody's like dumping something on you, like giving you this whole verbal spiel. Like, yeah, they are really just looking for you to listen, but oftentimes, with them doing that, they find the solution themselves. Like, you didn't have to do a damn thing. You just they just needed you there to, like, listen, and they work things out. Sometimes people are just the type of, individual where they have to, like, say things out loud. They just feel weird just being with themselves and saying it to themselves.
They gotta let it out.
They gotta let it out to somebody. They're not necessarily looking for you to, like, pitch in on anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Same way there's people that could solve their problems themselves by just expressing it to someone else. There's people that don't, and there's people that'll kill your ear with the same stuff over and over each time you see them. And that I can't get with. It's like, how many times are you gonna go through this again? Like, how many times are you gonna deal with the same thing, before you finally get it,
Hey, man. There's a class I took 2 times before I passed it the 3rd. Sometimes you gotta keep going through shit before you figure it out.
Yeah, but were you progressing? Were you getting better each time?
I was getting better each time, but
then.
you also had to retake the class again. You gotta.
I don't know. I just feel like sometimes you're almost enabling that person if you just allow them to continue doing the same thing and you don't at least offer a piece of advice. Or, like me, I'll tell you straight up, listen, you've gone through this this amount of times, and I'm not going to keep doing this with you. I'm not going to keep going through the same situation, same scenario with you. We're not doing this. Like, you need to learn from your mistakes.
I can't change you. You got to want to change, type of thing. Yeah. Nothing changes if nothing changes, yo.
Yeah, that's why bullying is important. So,
this guy in this bullying thing again.
Yeah. But the bullies, they'll get you to that point where now you got to make some changes.
How many times you got to teach you this lesson, old man?
You feel me? How many times you get pants before you're like, all right.
This guy's crazy, yo.
Buddy.
Before it's like, all right, it's not happening no more.
This guy in his pants and crazy situation, man.
Oh, man. I do have the question of the day. If y'all boys is ready.
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on, man? What's
Let's get this out the way, man. Question of the day.
QOTD?
Yeah. Question of the day. All right. This is almost like a 2-part question, right? First part is, how well do you know yourself? I didn't ask you guys this already, did I?
No.
Okay.
Not
How
me.
well do you know yourself, and do you think your perception of yourself is in alignment with how others see you?
Go ahead. I need time to think.
Nah, go ahead, Vlad.
All right. I feel that I know myself very well. I've done a lot of reflection. I spent a lot of time alone.
On the spectrum, out of 100%.
Out of 100%, well, out of 100, I'd say. Wow, out of 100, that's tough.
You said you know very well, right?
Very well, but I'm always discovering something new about myself. So I'd say like 75.
75.
Like, I've done a lot of work, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and I'll never fully know myself, right? Because I'm still living, I'm still breathing. So there's always something new to learn about myself. Mm-hmm. I'm always gonna have a new interest, a new like, a new dislike. You know, always work that I need to. It's always something I need to work on, you know, whether it's my nerves, whether it's my temperament, you know, and just correcting some of the wrongs, correcting mistakes. So I'll never know myself fully, but I've come a long way, you know. And then my second part was, is my perception of myself in alignment with how others may perceive me? Do I think that You know, it's funny. Like, it depends. If it's a stranger will probably perceive me as somebody that's like introverted, quiet, more reserved. Because that's how I present myself to strangers. Like, if I'm in an environment that I'm not familiar with anybody, that's how I am. But anybody that knows me, no, that's not really me.
So you live like a double life.
I wouldn't say a double life per se. I just think a certain environment will see a different side of me, only because
You're more reserved.
Yeah, I think in my nature I am more reserved. But when I'm with my friends, and that's why I say it depends if it's a stranger or friends. Because friends, would you guys perceive me as reserved?
No.
Exactly. But if I ask that same question to some strangers that see me like on a regular, like say I go to the gym, like there's a lot of people in there, I don't really say much to too many people in there, so they would probably see me as more reserved, as more, quiet type. So yeah, I do think my perception of myself is in alignment with how others see me. I do believe that in that case. And you would never know exactly how people perceive you. And honestly, to be honest, that's none of my concern. I don't really care about that. But if I was to think and if I had to answer, yeah.
I guess I'll go next. Do I know myself? For a while, I didn't at all. But now, as I'm getting older, I think it's a very important thing for me right now, and honestly, it requires some uncomfortable work. You know, it just goes to something I've spoken about before, where some people just can't be by themselves. I feel like it's necessary to spend some time in some quiet, some solitude to like really, to just really just be with yourself. So I've been doing that, a little. Some people just can't be by themselves. Like, think about it. You drive a car. You drive your car. You're blasting music. You're doing all these things to like distract you. You ever try like turning off the radio and just driving, bro?
I did that the other day.
Turn his TV
like,
off.
you ever just sat down and just,
like I said,
be quiet?
Before I drive, put a little scripture on, and then silently I'll be in my head.
All right, guy. Open up the Bible verse. You know what? I believe you.
I'm not here for you to believe me. I believe
And
myself.
and that's important. You see, that's important. Free thinker. But yeah, it required some uncomfortable work, just being by myself, just just hearing the thoughts that are coming in and out of my head, and sometimes they were not always positive. So
I hear voices in my head.
this guy. All right, Randy.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this guy is weird. Yeah, just hearing the thoughts, just hearing the thoughts that are coming inside of my, in throughout, mental Rolodex, and sometimes they weren't positive, so I had to like really learn to like talk to myself in like a positive way, just think positive things, do positive things, and on the spectrum, I would say I'm at like 75% of it too, like what you said.
That's my seed, yo.
Go ahead, Roby. I'm done talking.
For me, I think I know myself.
I'm
like,
sorry. Real quick, I just have to interrupt you. Fuck you. Go ahead, Roby.
Damn.
I'm done talking. He asked me the fucking question.
This is my man's, by the way.
Yo, he asked me the question. I'm trying to answer. I'm telling you something that's coming from here, like inside of me. Yo, this guy's my son. He's my seed.
I hear voices.
Yeah, I hear voices making look. Yo, I'm looking crazy out here. I hear voices, bro. But it is what it is. I'll answer the question next week.
Yeah, this is my man's.
Go ahead, bro.
By the way.
I think I know myself.
It's all jokes. It's all jokes.
I think I know myself like 65%, if I'm being honest. I'm learning throughout the way, so every day I'm learning something different. What was the other part of your question? How people perceive you?
Yeah, do you think how people perceive you is in alignment with how you perceive yourself?
I don't know how people perceive me, so I
No,
really...
but it's like, if you had to think how somebody will perceive you, do you think it's in alignment? You have a self-perception, right? You know how you know.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think people see you in that same way? It's just like, you obviously you don't know what they really think, but if you had to, say.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe.
What is the perception of yourself?
The perception of myself?
Who is Roby?
Who is... Good question.
Got him. He wasn't expecting that. He wanted to drop. I don't know. I got another one for you.
I'm an entrepreneur. Very well-minded, open to new opportunities, new ideas. Honestly, I'm just looking for a way to monetize what I'm doing and being able to share the wealth. Because at the end of the day, I can't be the only one with the bread and everything. It doesn't feel good being the only person on top. So I like uplifting people. I like showing support where I can, and that's it.
Okay.
You feel me?
Okay. DJ Roby.
You feel me?
You who's Pete Casanova? My bad. Who's Pete Casanova?
Pete Casanova. That man is a visionary. A man of mystery. He just wants to make it out of life. Make something of himself. Have purpose, like I keep saying. Have meaning. All of that, man. So Pete Casanova is a man of a man who has the drive to get the most he can out of life.
I like that you said mystery. I like living in a little mystique too.
Yeah,
because you can't give people everything. You gotta have them.
Can't
want it for more. You need a cliffhanger.
And that was sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
And what I was, fair point. And that was essentially what I was trying to like get into, before I was cut off with my question. Answer my question. People's perception of you. Can I answer?
By all means.
Oh.
The floor is yours. You are a mic, so you can always answer.
Oh, I'm a mic now.
You've been a mic.
I appreciate you, my guy. But I'll answer with no, because it's not until, answering the first question about, do you know yourself? When it was a no, that answer, of course, is naturally a no, how people perceive you, because we often gave people different versions of ourselves. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you behave one way with this group over here, you behave one way with that group over here, and likewise with the other group over here. Versus if you knew yourself well and you had your morals and your values in check for, how you want to be perceived. The answer's a no for me. For me at least, The answer's a no.
Okay.
The answer's no. I could have said more, but I bled you guys enough with.
Man.
Yeah, I bled you guys enough this
Oh, man.
episode. I could have said I was about to get into it too, but I thought about Vlad saying, "Yo, this guy's my son. This guy's my son over here." Do you have any kids you don't know about?
Well,
I don't have any kids at all.
All right, that you don't know about though. Like you know.
Well, if I don't know about them, I wouldn't know.
Okay, all right, just checking.
Yeah, man.
What a great time, man! It's always a great time chatting with you folks, man.
In fact, any special announcements? Anything that you guys want to tell our audience? You guys want to, anything coming up? Anything that you need to know? No special projects.
I know last time we was aired, you said this is gonna be a special episode. What do you have for the crowd?
Yeah, we got something special coming for you guys, and it's still under work. So
Still in the works.
We don't want to reveal it just yet, but once we hash out the details and we iron out all the specifics, we will definitely be announcing it. Just stay tuned, guys. Keep supporting, keep liking, keep commenting, keep subscribing. We appreciate it. Every single like, it's much appreciated. Every single view, much appreciated. So, we're just trying to progress and we're just trying to get better. So, we appreciate you guys being on this journey with us.
For sure. No, I don't really have anything as far as announcement wise, but I have a couple of things that I'm working on, some passion projects that I've always wanted to do. So getting that done, building some things, taking action on some of the dreams and aspirations for my life. You know what I mean?
Any gigs coming up soon, Roby?
Gigs, as far as gigs, like I said, July 6th, I'm doing that boat party, but Breach Report is going to have something coming up very shortly, so stay tuned. We're going to have something special for y'all.
All right, y'all boys. Wait, before we leave, y'all got anything good to do this week? Any plans this week? The weather's getting nice. No weather.
Weather getting nice, man. Getting that money on and calling it a day, man. Stay in the crib. Homebody.
Just live more. Don't take anything for granted. Tomorrow's not promised. So any day you get, just live it up. Live it up as much as you can with, all the resources that you have at your disposal. You never know when, your clock will reach zero. So just be grateful out there.
Yeah. I want to have like a brunch or a day party soon.
Yeah.
So
One of these days.
One of these days. Set it up, man. You're the brunch guy. Brunch boy.
I know I was a brunch guy, but
Yeah,
guess
brunch
you learn
boy.
something new every day.
Yeah. Like I said, I learned something new about you guys.
9 siblings?
Yo, we had a great episode. As always, thank you to, my wonderful co-host, Vlad on the B mic, Roby, B mic 2.0.
Y'all. Appreciate it.
Safety.
Out.